Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Recently, we've been hearing a ton about Call of Duty 2022, aka Modern Warfare 2022 or MW2. And recently, over the past couple of days, we've gotten even more information on this game from various leakers and insiders. Some new information on the state of the game, which honestly all comes out to be pretty good news if you're excited and hopeful for a finished, a polished, and a fun Call of Duty game. So we got a lot to break down today as we cover it all. If you enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. It would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with the latest news, updates, loadouts, tips, and everything else going on in COD. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. And also, you guys always see me wearing the Gamer Advantage glasses. Every face cam video, I got them on. I wear these things all day, every day. They are game changers. If you want to ever pick up a pair for yourself, they've got prescription and regular lenses, and code Immortal gets you a nice little discount. Link down in the description below. So first and foremost, basically all the information that we're covering here today stems either from Ralph's Valve, who is a newer data miner and person with some insider sources that's been pretty accurate with some previous stuff regarding Call of Duty leaks and rumors. And then also Tom Henderson, who we know by now has an incredible track record when it comes to insider info and predicting things and accurately describing things in a leak and rumor state before it becomes officially announced. So pretty credible sources when it comes down to it. Of course, at the end of the day, though, this is just leaks and rumors. We're still 10, 11 months out from seeing Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2022 officially launch. So plenty of things can change, but as it stands right now, this game seems to be making waves, and it's still, like I said, 10 to 11 months out from releasing. So let's talk first on the actual development state of the game. Some news came out a few days ago from Ralph's Valve talking about who exactly and how many studios were working on Modern Warfare 2, COD 2022. And at first people saw this and was like, why are so many studios working on this? This is going to be a bad thing. They clearly needed the extra help. No, that's not the case at all. Honestly, the more people are working on this just means a lot of things are going to be fine-tuned in various ways. And honestly, every single COD has way more studios working on it than you might think. But basically, Ralph's Valve ended up saying that Demonware, High Moon Studios, Toys for Bob, Infinity Ward's Texas, Poland, and Los Angeles branches, Beanox, Activision themselves in like their own sort of department, and then Raven and Sledgehammer all had their hands in this Modern Warfare 2 pot, right? So quite a few devs and quite a few studios and teams working on MW2. Also, I would assume probably because we have so many different people with their hands in this MW2 pot, sort of segues into the next topic of conversation here. Tom Henderson has actually recently reported that Modern Warfare 2022 is already in its alpha playtest stage. Now, no, that doesn't mean we're going to see an MW2 alpha pop up on PlayStation or Xbox in the next month. This is all obviously internal builds, but Tom did mention this is the earliest that he's ever seen a Call of Duty go into alpha, meaning at launch, we should be looking at a very polished, very finished product, obviously looking at the sort of optimistic side of it. And also, we already know this is the first game since MW 2019 that's had that full 3-year development cycle, which, as we know, COD desperately needs right now. You look at Cold War, which did not have that full 3-year cycle. It launched, it was kind of a mess. Vanguard launched and it was okay, but then right as post-launch content started coming in, it also turned into a mess, and it also did not have that full 3-year dev cycle either. MW 2019 did, and the whole year was a lot smoother. While it still had its issues and needed updates here and there, it was a much smoother road than Cold Wars and Vanguard. So the fact that it's already in alpha is very, very good news. On top of that, some of these leakers and some of these insiders who have actually seen some footage say it is the most well-built and far along alpha that they've seen in a long, long time, as far as they can remember, right? So again, very good news. I believe what they ended up seeing was some of the DMZ footage, I think is what Tom Henderson said in the past, that he was able to get a look at that, and he was very impressed considering just how far out we are from launch. If the game is already in that state, already looking clean and polished, and like more of a full build than some of these CODs that we've had at launch, again, very, very good news. It definitely is something that's going to, I think, raise expectations the more that we get information about this, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's definitely going to raise hype levels for those that actually follow this stuff, but also it raises the expectations that, hey, this game's been polished for a long time. They were working on an alpha very, very early, full 3-year dev cycle. It should be launching in a near flawless state, right? So sort of a double-edged sword in that way, but personally, I view this more as hey, this game is in a very good state. Now, this past week, Ralph's Valve also mentioned a little bit about what this game is going to physically look like. He used an example from one of the Infinity Ward head animators, and I'll actually link his YouTube channel down in the comments below. Hyper is his YouTube channel, and the animations this guy does are just so incredible, especially his most recent one. And Ralph actually used this as an example, saying this is what you can sort of expect for MW 2022, but it's going to look even better, and this game is going to have very extensive animations, details, very in-depth, sort of like MW 2019, but on an even larger scale. You look back, you compare MW 2019 to Cold War, to Vanguard, to earlier CODs, it just blows everything else out of the water with its actual details. The gun dynamics, the gunsmith, the way that can be built, and how you can manage certain weapons, the physical look of the weapons with how things react to the world, animations galore. Everything about MW 2019 in that regard was incredible, regardless of how you feel about, the gameplay pacing, the mini-map features, whatever else. There's no denying the game's, capability to impress you visually was very, very good, and it seems like MW 2022 is taking that to the next level, which personally I'm very, very excited for. But obviously, while a game can look good and be pretty and have cool animations, the gameplay has to be good as well. And while we don't have a ton of information on the gunplay, on the mechanics, which we can assume is probably going to be pretty similar to MW 2019's, we did also hear that presumably at launch and throughout the content season, we're going to see a lot of MW2 content added into the game. Primarily, I would assume in the form of maps, things like Terminal, High Rise, Favela, so on and so forth. We're going to see these maps reintroduced into MW 2022 in a way that sort of replaces MW2 remastered multiplayer. Obviously, that's been a very big want from the Call of Duty community for quite some time, but when you look at it, releasing it anytime soon just wouldn't make any sense. You don't want to drop MW2 remastered multiplayer in the same year you're dropping a game that's going to be titled Modern Warfare 2. That'd just be very confusing, very weird, and would just split a player base in an awkward way and just not be good from a marketing or a sales standpoint. Then you look ahead to the future, 2023, we'd see a new game from Treyarch. It'd be very weird to drop an old Call of Duty from a different studio in Infinity Ward with MW2 remastered multiplayer, so that really wouldn't make sense. Then beyond that, we're into the gray area of we don't know what's going to happen, because that's going to be the Microsoft era of Call of Duty, and we're not really too sure how they're going to approach things. So Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer does not look very likely. It doesn't make much sense to actually put out into the world, and instead having COD 2022 Modern Warfare 2 sort of absorb all this MW2 remastered multiplayer content with some of the maps then gives it even more content, but not in a way that's necessarily overdone, because it's something that we've been wanting to see for quite some time from the vast majority of the community. At least it brings back that nostalgia, but also we're going to have all the new content included in it. Honestly, I feel like Cold War did that pretty well. I'm not the biggest Cold War fan out there in terms of how the game was approached and the content cycle of it, but I did like the fact that on top of the new maps and whatnot, we did have quite a few older maps introduced that kept the game feeling fun and feeling fresh, that sort of nostalgia feel, but they were maps that played really, really well in that game. I feel like it's sort of going to be the same situation here in MW 2022 with even more iconic maps. But hey, when it comes down to it, it seems like Modern Warfare 2022 is in an incredible state for being this far pre-launch. We should at some point in the next few months start to see that sort of promo and ultimate reveal for it. Some of the leakers and insiders in the community are saying, maybe late spring we could see that initial reveal, which will be obviously very exciting. But content-wise, performance-wise, graphics-wise, and just general state-wise, it seems like MW2 is in a very, very good spot, which is fantastic news. I have very high hopes for this game. Probably the most excited I've been for a Call of Duty in years. MW 2019, going into that, it looked cool, but we didn't really know what to expect because it was a lot different and something we really haven't seen before. So there were people who were skeptical, and it turned out to be very fun in my opinion. Now building off of that, MW 2022 really has that hype train going full steam ahead. But all that said, that's going to wrap things up for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, or if you're excited for MW2, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, each and every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips. You'll find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products, and the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.